Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening. Welcome to the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Olamide Badmus. First, the headlines. REP stepped down Technology Management Agency's 2026 budget review. Makinde vows support to tackle gender-based violence. United Kingdom set for snow and freezing temperatures amid Met Office weather warnings. United Nations to launch reconnaissance flights to support Eastern Congo ceasefire. Former Arsenal footballer Partey facing 2 additional rape charges. Now the details. The House of Representatives Committee on Science and Engineering has stepped down consideration of the 2026 budget proposal of the National Center for Technology Management, escalating tensions between lawmakers and the agency's leadership. The decision was taken at a budget defense session in Abuja, presided over by its national chairman, Honorable Inuwa Garba, where the committee also resolved to delete the agency's allocation from recommend the immediate removal of its Director General, Dr. Olushola Odusanya, for failing to appear before the panel to defend the proposal. Honorable Garba said lawmakers were further angered by the DG's failure to transmit the required documents for legislative scrutiny, while stressing that no presidential appointee should consider an invitation from the legislature optional, especially during the budget defense season. The Gombe lawmaker also noted that President Bola Tinubu personally appeared before the National Assembly to present the national budget, arguing that it would be wrong for appointees to shun lawmakers tasked with scrutinizing the same document. Honorable Garba further added that the action taken by the committee should serve as a deterrent to other heads of agencies contemplating similar conducts. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed in 2012 that World Radio Day is to thank broadcasters for the news they deliver, the voices they amplify, and the stories they share. As the world commemorates this year's World Radio Day 2026 celebrations on Friday, 13th of February, the importance of radio in lives of people once again takes the center stage. The theme for this year's celebration is Radio and Artificial Intelligence. AI is a tool, not a voice, which focuses on how AI can become an ally in strengthening audience trust when used ethically and responsibly in radio broadcasting. As we join the rest of the world to celebrate the World Radio Day tomorrow, Agidigbo FM news correspondent Jehovah Toby Olaiju explores the role artificial intelligence in radio broadcasting. Here is the report.
In anticipation of the World Radio Day tomorrow, February 13, every February 13 is known as the World Radio Day worldwide to celebrate broadcasters and the work they do in dissemination of news and how they make us to be entertained worldwide.
The World Radio Day is radio versus AI.
I'm so proud to be a radio journalist.
AI is not a voice, but a tool.
The radio has become a powerful medium of communication worldwide since the discovery of radio waves by Guglielmo Marconi in 1896. Radio provides real-time news updates, talk shows, and musical entertainment, making it truly omnipresent, proximal, timely, and enduring. With technological advancement, radio has evolved from traditional waves to online broadcasting, allowing for greater participation and inclusiveness. World Radio Day is celebrated annually on February 13th to recognize radio's importance in news dissemination, education, and entertainment globally. The Nigerian Broadcasting Service (NBS) was established in 1951, later becoming the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria in 1978, which remains the largest radio network in the country. However, the 1992 media deregulation policies allowed private ownership of radio stations, leading to the establishment of the first private radio station in 1994, and today there are over 740 licensed radio stations operating under frequency modulation, including the most listened to radio station Agidigbo FM, which serves Nigeria and the diaspora. This year's theme on World Radio Day focuses on AI as a tool, not a voice. Today, artificial intelligence opens a new chapter, not just for innovation, but for deepening their bond with listeners. Speaking with Agidigbo FM News, a renowned broadcaster, Dr. Abdurazak Abdugeni, highlights that despite the effectiveness of AI, it should not take over broadcasters' job completely.
AI should be seen as a tool, but not taking the job of the human, because human capacity can't, of course, AI cannot take over the job of what human can do. So we should use the AI as tool, but not replacing human in the job of radio and media.
In a separate interview with a veteran in radio broadcasting, Olasmade Akonwo mentioned ways through which advancement in technology has helped in radio broadcasting.
So when you now compare what today's technology is doing as per what is being done or what it has been, it is incomparable. It is both favorable and non-favorable.
For some, AI in radio spells an inevitable loss and signals the death of human creativity, while others take a more positive outlook regarding it as a way to unlock creativity and lower barriers to entry, just like other tools humans have used previously. Nevertheless, World Radio Day remains a unique opportunity for radio stations around the world to showcase their diversity, creativity, and ability to contribute to society.
We are not AI.
We are proud to be a journalist. Yoba Tobi or Light, Agidigbo FM News.
The Oyo State Governor Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde has assured that his administration would provide political leadership, budgetary support and executive backing for laws aimed at preventing GBV. Governor Makinde gave the assurance today while hosting representatives of Nigerian Governors Pulse Forum in partnership with Ford Foundation on advocacy court services led by his wife, Engineer Tamu Nominini Makinde. Agidigbo from news correspondent Oluwapemi Bamidele was at the event held at the executive chambers of the governor's office, Agodi Secretariat, Ibadan. Here is the reports.
The wife of the Oyo State Governor, who doubles as Vice Chairperson, Nigeria Governors Pulses Forum, Engineer Tamuno Minini Makinde, led the delegation for an advocacy in prevention, gender and sexual-based violence in Oyo State. The visit themed advocacy for prevention, shifting social norms and strengthening state commitment to end gender-based violence was part of an advocacy initiative by the Nigeria's Governors Pulse Forum in partnership with the Ford Foundation to strengthen legislative ownership of the gender-based violence prevention in Oyo State. The Oyo State Governor, Engineer Oluseyi Abiodun Makinde, assured that his administration would work with the Oyo State House of Assembly to ensure adequate budgetary allocation for gender-based violence prevention and response mechanisms. The Oyo State Governor, who shared a personal experience about family planning and gender norms, underscored his commitment to protecting women and girls, promised to provide executive backing for laws aimed at preventing gender-based violence, GBV.
In Oyo State, I give the assurance that, yes, as an administration, we do have the political will to support the aspiration. The Nigerian Governors Spouses Forum and the Ford Foundation and the prevention of gender-based violence. So we have degree, and Oyo State will provide that political leadership that they are looking for.
The wife of the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Tamunominine Makinde, in her remarks, called for commitment to preventing gender-based violence (GBV) in the state, emphasizing that GBV is not only a social problem but also a development challenge, governance issue, and silent economic drain.
We respectfully seek your support in 3 key areas. 1. Political leadership that prioritizes gender-based violence prevention as a governance issue. Adequate and sustained budgetary allocation for prevention and response mechanism. Executive backing for implementation of existing laws, particularly the VAT Act law and the Child Rights Act law.
The vet had in attendance the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, represented by the Chief Whip, Honorable Gbenga Oyekola, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musba Babatunde, Head of Service, Mrs. Olubumi One, Commissioners in the Cabinet of the Lagos State Government, and other political appointees. Oluwapemi Bamidele, Agidigbo FM News.
The Oyo State government has conferred the title of Justice of Peace on 345 distinguished citizens, urging them to see the honor not merely as a title but as a solemn call to duty and service to humanity. The State Deputy Governor, Barrister Bayo Lawal, gave this advice during the conferment ceremony held at the House of Chiefs, Parliament Building, Secretariat, Ibadan, the state capital, while warning against infringing on the scope of their responsibilities, saying the conferment could be withdrawn if misused. The Deputy Governor also congratulated them on the conferment, advised them to study the JP manual diligently in order to effectively carry out their functions and serve as credible ambassadors of justice. In his address, the State Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General Abiodun Aikomo emphasized that beyond carrying the title of JP, the office represents a higher responsibility to ensure justice and fairness in society and further encourage the newly conferred JPs to remain steadfast, committed to fairness, and dedicated to promoting justice across the states. Now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Kunle Amza Studio, Agidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Zikrot Omotolani Fasasi. Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe said Britain has been colonized by immigrants who are costing too much money. The 73-year-old businessman questioned whether Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer is the right man to lead the country forward in a bombshell interview, arguing that it may be too nice. He added that the population of the United Kingdom was 58 million in 2020 and now 70 million, which has increased by 12 million immigrants. He then urged Sir Keir Starmer to do the rightful things in order to get UK back on track. The United Kingdom Air Security Agency has issued a cold weather alert for England. The agency issued the alert on Wednesday that cold weather is on its way, specifically snow and ice alert for central and northern England. The Sky's weather team also affirmed that the dip in temperature will come as something of shock after the long, mild, wet spell, and it will run for 4 days starting from Friday 13th of February till Monday 16th of February. The agency then urged parents to keep their children safe and warm, also as the old ones, as the alert issue a warning that vulnerable people could be at greater risk and possible minor impact on health services due to increased demand. And that ends the news from Kunle Amza Studio, Agidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Zikot Omotolani Fasasi.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kunle Amza Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosi Sonia. Attorney General Pam Bondi faced heated questionings from Democrats about the Justice Department's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files at a House hearing, but she mostly refused to give straightforward answers, leaving many of the lawmakers frustrated. Democratic members of the House Judiciary Committee accused Bondi of orchestrating a cover-up by redacting the identities of many people whose names appeared in the more than 3 million pages of Epstein documents that the department released last month. They also harshly criticized the department for failing to redact the names of survivors of Epstein's abuse, some of whom were present in the hearing room. Bondi repeatedly sidestepped Democrat questions, dismissing their inquiry as theatrics and calling the hearing a circus. She frequently answered with questions of her own, asking the Democrat why they had not raised their concerns during previous administrations and attacking them on personal grounds. The UN peacekeeping mission in Democratic Republic of Congo will send reconnaissance flights to the eastern city of Uvira as part of preparations to help monitor a ceasefire between the government and the AFC M23 rebel group. The rebel group captured Uvira in December and withdrew a week later under pressure from the United States. Congo's armed moved back into the town last month. Congo and the rebels agreed last week to activate a Qatari-mediated ceasefire monitoring mechanism, part of a broader framework negotiated in Doha to halt fighting. The acting head of the UN peacekeeping mission, Vivian Var de Perret, told reporters that the first area reconnaissance mission to Uvira will take place in the coming days, adding that any UN deployment to support the ceasefire will be rolled out progressively and only once security guarantees are in place to protect UN personnel and equipment. And that has the news from Kule Amzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosi Sonya.
Welcome back once again, and now in the exciting world of sports. Former Arsenal footballer Thomas Partey has been charged with 2 additional counts of rape against a new alleged victim. This comes after the 32-year-old previously pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of rape against 2 women and 1 count of sexual assault allegedly relating to a 3rd woman, which means Partey now stands accused of sexual offences against 4 women. The Ghanaian international was then given conditional bail at Southwark Crown Court in September after entering not guilty pleas to the original 5 charges and will now appear at Westminster's Magistrate Court on 13th of March for a first hearing relating to the 2 new charges. The alleged offences, which he was charged with last year, took place between 2021 and 2022 when he was playing for North London club Arsenal and was charged for 4 days after leaving Arsenal when his contract expired at the end of June. Partey's lawyer, Janine Wilshire, has previously said he denies all charges against him and he welcomed the opportunity to finally clear his name. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of headlines. REP steps down Technology Management Agency's 2026 budget review. Makinde vows support to tackle gender-based violence. United Kingdom set for snow and freezing temperatures amid Met Office weather warnings. United Nations to launch resonance flights to support Eastern Congo ceasefire. Former Arsenal footballer Partey facing 2 additional rape charges. And before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo, 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Olamide Badmos. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out of school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM. the people's